So it's been about 20 years since I graduated from the department, and although I'm sure that there was a convocation speaker, I have no idea who it was or what they had to say. As a result, I have no illusions that you'll remember what I have to say 20 years from now. In fact, after heading down Green Street and seeing some of the celebrations last night, I'm not entirely sure you'll remember who I am 20 hours from now. The one thing I do remember about my graduation day is that my family and I breathed a sigh of relief because I'd found a job. I was going to work for a software company who invited me to become their first knowledge manager. My parents were proud, though they had no idea what it meant I'd be doing. And truth be told, I didn't really know what it meant either, but I nevertheless said yes to the opportunity and ventured off into the unknown. As each of you celebrate your accomplishments today and prepare to leave this comfortable place, I suspect you may also have a mixture of excitement and uncertainty about what your future holds. Will you find a job, continue your education, or perhaps enroll in military service? If you've already decided, will you find that choice meaningful and rewarding? Will you be good at it? The questions can go on, and truthfully, the only person who's able to answer them will be you. And you really won't know until you've jumped into life and had some experience to decide. Now, my knowledge management work ultimately connected me with a gentleman who created a product he called Siri, which many of us now carry around in our pockets each day. And in those years immediately following graduation, we spent a lot of our time thinking about what it meant to incorporate the internet into our daily lives. How routine things like buying a plane ticket or reading the news would change when they involved this exciting new thing called the internet. The graduating class of 2018 has a different set of questions to answer, and your answers have the potential to reshape our world just as dramatically as my graduating class's technology did. Earlier this spring, students from the high schools you came from started asking difficult questions about gun violence, demanding answers and action where there hadn't been any before. Nationwide, women graduating today make up a majority of degree holders of your generation. Yet, as you enter the workforce, you'll be faced with questions about why you're not also the majority of corporate executives or paid the same as men who do identical jobs. Your use of the internet has raised interesting questions about what it means to share the details of your life online, and how far advertisers or foreign governments should be allowed to go when they use those details to target messages to you. You've successfully used online tools to advance things like LGBT rights, or the Black Lives Matter or Me Too movements, which each raise important, meaningful questions of their own about your future. These are weighty issues. News pundits regularly talk about them as being part of a national dialogue on issues of race or gender or the values that we want to build our society around. And just as my graduating class was meant to teach older folks how to integrate new technologies into their lives, it will be up to your class to show us how the conclusions you reach at the end of these dialogues should establish the parameters of our lives together. Now, I believe that you're well suited to the task. Wherever you wind up living after you leave campus, it's likely to be a place where most folks look, act, and think pretty similarly. Small town or big city, red state or blue state, people tend to live with people who look and feel a lot like them. Yet, in your years on campus, you've already defied this trend. The student body of U of I is hugely diverse. You come from countries all around the world, you practice many religions or no religion at all, and you describe yourself as belonging to a wide variety of races and classes. Yet when you've come together in the classroom, you've shown that you know how to bridge those barriers to work together towards a common goal. Even more, you chose to study communication. And I believe that if the most important questions and uncertainties that our society is facing are going to be solved by having a national conversation around a given topic, there is no one better suited to lead that conversation than a communication student. Your coursework has taught you how to search for answers, separate fact from opinion, and how to judge the validity of sources that differentiate real news from fake news. As you enter into conversations about questions that have no clear answers, your communication training has taught you to assemble those facts into logical arguments that will persuade others on a course of action. Your work in interpersonal communication has taught you how to build trusting relationships and friendships, and use perspective-taking skills to understand the motivations of others, even if you don't ultimately share their beliefs. Now, since I left campus, I've been fortunate to have had a variety of work experiences. I've been to factories and corporate boardrooms, I've been invited to homeless camps and the White House, and I've traveled to places where everyone speaks English and places where almost nobody does. Through each uncertain situation, I've waded into the unknown, finding that my communication degree ultimately provided the skills I'd needed to survey the environment, connect with others, and chart a path forward. Today, with your graduation, you can confidently join me in saying yes to whatever exciting new opportunity comes your way. You're graduating into a rapidly changing world where it's honestly sometimes hard to identify what the important questions are, let alone know their answers. And it can be a daunting task to chart a new course into the unknown. But I know that this group of graduates is up to the task, because I know that your degree represents your mastery of an important communication skill set that the rest of the world doesn't always have. You have a lot of people to thank for this great preparation, including an amazing faculty and staff, many of whom are here today. And before you leave campus, I hope you'll join me by going to the department website, making a $5 gift, and sharing a word of thanks for what these folks have done. After you've done that, I hope you'll come back to share with others how your communication background carried you through the amazing journey of your life. Because while you may not remember me in the years to come, I know that you'll remember your Illinois education and the doors that it opened for you. Congratulations, class of 2018, and best of luck on your exciting, uncharted journeys.